Count Dracula has immigrated to England and sets his sights on the lovely Mina, of whom he preys upon for her blood. This is one of those films where I have mixed feelings towards. I understand its importance to the horror industry, and I understand its significance to Universal Studios. But when I watch the film, I'm wondering, why doesn't this seem like the kind of film I've heard so much about? Now, there are good things that I recognize in this film. Particularly, there is the voice of Bela Lugosi, which I find has this musical tone to it, which I haven't really heard from other actors. He's not trying to sing, but it's just, he has this kind of, I don't know how to quite describe it, but it almost sounds like different musical instruments when he talks. You'd really have to pay attention to it in order to find it, and maybe it's just me, but I felt that was a fairly compelling aspect of his performance. Van Helsing and Renfeild, however, they were the best characters in this film. They really stole the show away from everyone else, including Bela Lugosi. As for the things that I really was not as impressed by, Count Dracula's portrayal was a bit strange and not very compelling compared to that of Count Orlok in Nosferatu. I found that the gaze that Bela Lugosi used, the hypnotic, trance-inducing stare, was a bit more creepy and odd than it was actually hypnotic and visually drawing. It just didn't seem quite right. And when people are describing the kind of facial expressions that he's using, it doesn't sound like the kind of face he really sported. It sounds more like they were looking at someone completely different. I didn't quite understand why that was. I also have a problem with the descriptions in this film as well. There are certain events that are being described, such as the red mist and the transformation scenes, which don't actually happen. They are only described by the actors as for what they've seen. I would have liked to have actually seen these events unfold. I mean, it is a motion picture after all. You can show us what happened. I felt that the music at the start was great, but you virtually have none throughout the course of the film. It is very quiet, the only sounds being that of the actors speaking to the screen or to each other. It just doesn't feel right. I still did get quite a bit of entertainment out of Renfeild. He was a tremendous actor. He was a tremendous character in the film. He certainly felt more compelling than Dracula did. He had more of what was being described. I also felt he had the most complex character. He goes from being a normal, fairly insignificant person to this raving maniac, and then at times he is a sympathetic character who's just trying to save Mina from the fate that he's enduring. So for Renfeild, I kind of boosted this rating a bit, but it still came in at a 3.25 out of 5. It just was not as good as what I was expecting for all the hype that is around it.